The dawn of dread. The night sky burned. Earth's outer colonies, once teeming with life, industry, and hope, were nothing more than smoldering wrecks, their orbital defenses reduced to debris fields. The Zalari Dominion, the most ruthless empire in the known galaxy, had declared humanity unfit to exist. Their invasion had been swift, decisive, and utterly merciless. Admiral Elias Grant stood aboard the bridge of the Horizon Spear, his flagship, watching the transmission feeds in grim silence. Cities on Mars had fallen. Titan's outposts were overrun. Even Earth's defenses had buckled under the sheer ferocity of the alien assault. Humanity was losing. "Sir, we just lost contact with the Andromeda Front," a young officer reported, voice taut with control panic. Grant exhaled sharply, rubbing his temples. He had known war would come. The warning signs were always there. Zalari scouting ships, probing human borders, diplomatic demands that reeked of veiled threats, and their condescending belief that humanity was an anomaly, an aberration that needed to be culled. But the speed of the invasion had been terrifying. "How many ships do we have left in fighting condition?" Grant asked. "Less than 30% of the fleet, sir," Commander Arya Voss responded. She was his second in command, sharp-eyed and battle-scarred. "Earth's high command is in disarray. They're calling for surrender." A bitter silence followed. The weight of the moment hung over them like a funeral shroud. Surrender meant extinction. Grant turned to the holographic map displaying the ravaged territories. If they fought a conventional war, humanity would be annihilated within weeks. The Zalari's war machines were centuries ahead. Plasma lances that sliced through dreadnought armor, energy shields impervious to nuclear bombardment, and artificial intelligence that calculated probabilities before human minds could even react. But humanity had something the Zalari didn't: defiance. "We're not surrendering," Grant declared. His voice carried through the bridge like a hammer striking steel. "We fight. We adapt. We make them bleed for every world they take from us." Arya nodded. "There's one option, a desperate one." She tapped a control panel, pulling up classified data, an intercepted Zalari transmission. A single word stood out: Thanatos Protocol. A weapon? A superweapon? Whatever it was, the Zalari were desperate to protect it. "If we can seize this technology," Arya continued, "we might have a chance. It's a suicide mission, but it's better than waiting to die." Grant clenched his fists. The Zalari thought humanity was broken, but they had no idea what desperation could drive humans to do. "Gather our best. Scientists, engineers, soldiers. If this Thanatos is their ace, we're taking it from them." The bridge crew moved with renewed purpose. This was no longer about surviving. It was about winning. For the first time in weeks, Grant felt something he thought he had lost: hope. Forging unlikely alliances. The war had driven humanity to the brink, but desperation breeds ingenuity. If the Zalari believed they had already won, they had made a grave miscalculation. Admiral Elias Grant paced the war room aboard the Horizon Spear, surrounded by hollow displays of human-controlled space. The red markers, Zalari-controlled systems, outnumbered the blue. Humanity was losing ground faster than they could regroup. But they had a plan: Thanatos Protocol. "This is our only shot," Grant said, his voice firm. "We don't have the numbers, but if we take this from them, we level the playing field." Arya Voss, his second-in-command, nodded. "We've identified the research facility, hidden on Varkos 9, a jungle moon deep in Zalari space. Heavy defenses, but a small infiltration team could slip through." Silence followed. The idea was insane. Breaking into the heart of enemy territory, stealing classified technology, and escaping alive? But humanity had no other choice. Then a voice, deep and unfamiliar, spoke from the shadows. "There's one problem," it said. The room turned to the speaker, an alien. Not Zalari, but something different. Tall, with skin like obsidian and piercing silver eyes, he carried himself like a warrior. "Varixor, a defector. The Zalari do not just guard this weapon," he continued. "They worship it. It is more than technology. It is their safeguard against extinction. If you come for it, they will burn the stars to stop you." Murmurs rippled through the gathered officers. Grant studied Varric carefully. A former Zalari commander, cast out for speaking against the Empire's brutality, now offering his knowledge in humanity's darkest hour. Could they trust him? And what do you suggest? Grant asked. Varric stepped forward, his expression unreadable. You do not attack blindly. You make them think the weapon is lost before you even arrive. The room fell into an uneasy silence. Arya frowned. Elaborate. Varric's silver eyes gleamed. The Zalari do not trust their own allies. If we feed them false intelligence, if they believe the Thanatos Protocol has already been compromised, they will shift forces away from Varkos 9 to secure other installations. That is when you strike. It was risky, but so was every plan humanity had left. Grant folded his arms. And why should we trust you? Varric met his gaze without hesitation. Because if humanity falls, the Zalari will not stop. My people will be next. I fight for survival, just as you do. The Admiral let the silence stretch before finally speaking. Then welcome to the Resistance. A ripple of tension broke as Varric nodded, a warrior's respect passing between them. The plan was set. Within hours, humanity's best infiltrators would embark on the most daring mission of the war. If they failed, the war would be lost. If they succeeded, it would be the beginning of the Zalari's downfall, and humanity's reckoning. Into the heart of the beast. The stealth frigate Shadow Fong cut through the void, its hull coated with experimental light-bending alloys that rendered it nearly invisible to enemy scanners. Inside, a team of the most elite soldiers humanity had left prepared for the mission that could change the course of the war. Admiral Grant had chosen them carefully, seasoned veterans, infiltration experts, and Varric Sor, their alien defector guide. They were ghosts now, moving in silence toward Varkos 9, the jungle moon where the Thanatos Protocol was hidden. Inside the cramped deployment bay, Commander Arya Voss finished her final weapons check. She had fought in the first battles of the war, watched entire cities burn, and lost too many friends to count. Failure wasn't an option. She glanced at the others, Lieutenant Eric Danner, demolition specialist, Talia Riggs, hacker and ex-thief, Sergeant Kovacs, heavy weapons, and Varric, silent as ever, his piercing silver eyes unreadable. Final approach in 2 minutes. The pilot's voice crackled over comms. Arya took a breath. All right, listen up. We get in, extract the data, and get out. No heroics. No mistakes. If we're caught, we don't get second chances. Danner smirked. So, business as usual. The ship shuddered as it entered Varkos 9's atmosphere, cutting through thick storm clouds. Below, the jungle stretched endlessly, broken only by a massive fortress of black metal. The Zalari Research Facility. Their intelligence had been correct. Defense systems had been partially rerouted due to the false intelligence Varric had helped plant. But there were still patrols, drones, and bioengineered war beasts lurking in the undergrowth. The Shadow Fong hovered just above the canopy as the ramp dropped. The team rappelled down in silence, their suits dampening sound and thermal signatures. The moment boots touched the ground, Arya signaled for movement. They slipped through the jungle like shadows, bypassing security checkpoints with a mixture of stolen clearance codes and brute force. Riggs disabled motion sensors. Kovacs eliminated sentries with precision shots, and Varric led them through secret paths only an Exilari could know. They reached the facility's outer walls within minutes. This is too easy, Danner muttered. Arya felt it too. A tension in the air. The Zalari were ruthless but rarely sloppy. Stay sharp, she ordered, pressing forward. Riggs hacked the security locks, and the massive steel doors slid open with a hiss. Inside, the facility was eerily quiet, illuminated by the cold glow of alien technology. Then the alarms blared. The doors slammed shut behind them. From the darkness, figures emerged, tall, armored Zalari enforcers, their weapons humming with lethal energy. At the center stood a towering figure, clad in obsidian battleplate. You truly thought you could steal from us? The Zalari commander sneered. His eyes glowed with cruel amusement. Arya raised her rifle, heart pounding. They had walked into a trap, but humanity didn't surrender. "Light him up," she ordered. The battle for the Thanatos Protocol had begun. Fire and fury. The first shot split the air like a thunderclap. Arya Voss dove behind a console as plasma fire illuminated the facility's dim corridors. The Zalari enforcers advanced with brutal efficiency, their energy shields flickering as they absorbed incoming rounds. "Danner, grenades now!" Arya barked. Danner pulled a pair of ion charges from his belt and hurled them forward. The grenades detonated with a concussive burst, disrupting the enemy shields just long enough for Kovacs to unleash a torrent of heavy-caliber rounds. 2 Zalari fell, their armor shattered, but more surged forward. Varric moved like a phantom. His twin plasma blades ignited with a hiss, carving through enemy ranks in a deadly dance. He was faster than any human, his strikes precise, lethal. "They knew we were coming," Riggs shouted over the chaos, ducking as a plasma bolt scorched past her. "We need an exit now." Arya scanned the room, her mind racing. The Thanatos Protocol was still somewhere inside this facility, but if they didn't move fast, they'd die before ever seeing it. Then she saw it, a reinforced blast door at the far end of the chamber. "That's our way forward," she called. "Riggs, get it open." Riggs sprinted toward the console, fingers flying over alien controls. The Zalari commander, the towering brute who had taunted them, noticed. He aimed a massive plasma rifle at her. Arya moved on instinct. She raised her weapon and fired. A precise shot caught the commander in the shoulder, staggering him. "You dare defy the Dominion?" he snarled, his voice dripping with contempt. Arya gritted her teeth. "You're damn right I do." The blast door slid open just as more Zalari reinforcements stormed in. Arya threw a flash charge behind her, momentarily blinding their pursuers. "Go! Move!" she shouted. The team rushed inside, sealing the door behind them. The corridor ahead was different from the rest of the facility. Darker, colder, and at the end of it stood the Thanatos Protocol. The chamber was massive, lined with alien glyphs pulsing with an eerie blue light. In the center, suspended in an anti-gravity field, was a device unlike anything they had ever seen, a construct of unknown metal, humming with barely contained energy. "What the hell is this?" Danner murmured. Varric's expression was grim. "Not a weapon. A prison." Silence fell over the team. Arya stepped forward. "For what?" Before Varric could answer, the walls trembled. The Zalari were breaching the doors. "No time to debate," Riggs said. "We either take this thing or die here." Arya made the call. "Kovacs, prep charges. We're bringing it with us." As they worked, the doors exploded behind them. The Zalari charged in, enraged, desperate. The battle wasn't over. But humanity never ran from a fight.